Hello, I'm Noir Nerd, and this is a bit of a code overview slash work in progress vlog, I guess, about this new project I'm working on called Ghertist 3D Chat Room, which is basically using a few different A-frame components, including A-frame itself, networked A-frame, and A-frame environment component, to create a 3D chat room with voice chat. So I'll demo it as is now. I mean, it's still early days, and then talk a bit about the code that I've done so far. It's very much an experimental project, so it's still in the experimental stage, but I thought I'd showcase it a bit just to show what it's doing. Ghertist is just like the reason it's called Ghertist is just a sort of in-joke between me and my mate, whose photo is there, Scott. It's quite funny, actually. It's sort of like it's an in-joke that we both came up with. Well, I came up with a while ago, and then Scott's always talking about it. That's actually a picture of my mate Scott there. But anyway, there's like a link to the stupid Urban Dictionary definition there that I did. But anyway, let's get into the meat of this thing. Now, I can't really demo it, unfortunately, properly because there's only me here. But let's just go into the first environment. I think it's in a stable state at the minute. This is on Heroku. So it asked me for a username. I'm just going to put Chris. This part doesn't completely work yet. So yeah, so we land into this environment, which is created with A-frame environment. It's just like a generated. You can generate different types of environment. And if I mute I can log myself in a new tab, and you should see what it means. But I have to mute this tab. Oh, it's already muted. Good. So you can see it's accessing my microphone, which is good, but also if I do it now, I'm going to get major feedback. So let me just copy paste this, and you'll see, yes, it's muted. So I'll just put Bob. So eventually this will show your username, and so there. So you see, you come into the experiences, different these little characters. And then if I look in the other one, bada bing, bada bosh, it just says hello world. Eventually it'll say username. But the basic idea of it is just like a voice chat environment. So you go in to this environment, you can chat to other people. And I'm quite excited by this prospect at the minute. It's quite a cool project to work on. And it's not that complicated really, because it's using A-frame, which is a really nice, powerful tool. And networked A-frame as well. So that's what it does. If I was to unmute this tab, then you'd be able to hear some feedbacky audio, because there'll be more audio feeding back into itself. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want to deafen everybody. But that's the basic idea of it. I'll just mention this now because I think it'll be quite cool. If you are interested in helping me test this out, please get in touch. On Twitter, I'm Rational Chaos. Please get in touch with me there if you want to be involved in this, because I'm really looking for people to test this on in real life. It's almost impossible to test it with myself properly with the audio. Also, I'm working on another environment currently called. So the idea of it will eventually be that you can create. I'll create different chat rooms. So what? General chat, mushroom fields is another one I've been working on. Oh, I know why that happened. Yeah, I need to modify actually. Yeah, see, that's my bad. That needs fixing, but it is there, the HTML file. But this is the other one that's much more work in progress. So yeah, the idea is that you'll have like different types of environments where you can log in, zoom around, have a chat with your mates, and just like sort of be an interesting thing, I think, really, like a virtual reality chat room basically with voice chat support, and then using these generated environments. So let's just go look into how I did this. Let me just get rid of that. Open up WebStorm, open up this. Okay, so I've used there's a lot of stuff here to cover. So using networked A-frame, which I'll just get that up now. Just bear with me a second. Networked A-frame. No, not that. So this is the package I'm using, networked A-frame. So this is running, there you go, this is multi-user a VR on the web. So getting started on this, there's a lot of documentation for this actually. It can be a bit, somewhat confusing. But it's actually quite well documented, which is good. And I think they've got like a starter guide, so I just followed that to get up and running, because you need to yes, there's a getting started tutorial, which is how I got it going. Basically this project is a mix of this networked A-frame component and the environment generation thing, which I'll show as well. So this guide, getting started with networked A-frame, just basically gives you a guide on to how to get going. I'm running the actual app live, or the dev version of it anyway, on Heroku, which is quite nice as well. So it just tells you how to set up your server. You just follow these instructions basically, and then it gives you everything you need to basically start from scratch. So I'm not going to go over all that. You can sort of look at it in your own time. Let's look at my code. If I go into presentation mode. So let's go to presentation mode. There we go. So this is the Citadel page, which is the page I was demoing before, the first one. So of course there's A-frames, there's HTML. We're importing in some of using CDNs for some of them for the minute, but yeah, it's just currently we're using WebRTC for the sound support. A-frame, network A-frame makes it quite easy. Everything's under network network scene attribute, which you add here. Add a name. I'm debugging it still, so it's that adapter. Then there's a template you create for the avatar, which I've just basically kept it the same as the other one and just modified it a bit, not too much, because at the minute it's still very much a work in progress. Now let's just look at the environment. So this environment is another package or component you can use with A-frame. So let's have a look at that. So this is just go up, scroll up. It's called an A-frame environment component. So this is not included in the documentation. This is a new thing that I added, which I found. So you can basically, that sets it to this generated environment. There's loads of presets you can get. So there's 3 towers I've added there, and then I've just basically modified it to get the look that I wanted. So you can add different types of dressings, like mushroom apparatus, which is the one I've used here. You can change the color of it, you can change the ground, you can change how many things there. So it's quite cool for just creating a quick generated environment, and it's really fun just to play around with how we can modify that. And then we've got this is networked A-frame schema, adding the template, avatar template, and all those. Oh, that's the name tag, which I'm also working on in a minute. And then there's some script here. Now, so far, what I've been doing is just basically copying examples I've found online. Name tag isn't working at the minute for some reason, which is a bit annoying. But well, it works, but it just shows hello world instead of the actual example I want. Yeah, let's have a look at some more of the actual. Okay. Exit presentation mode. Okay, so what else have we got here? We've got some images, which is just more for the index HTML, which is just the landing page you go onto, which is just HTML really. And actually, at the minute I'm going to modify it a lot more, but at the minute it's just basically a modified version of the stuff, the index HTML that comes with networked A-frame. It's nothing special at the minute because I'm just got a README here, which is my README for the project. License, I can't remember, MIT, because I made it MIT, so it's not really about selling anything, it's just a freebie thing. Yeah, and then this is the server code, express server code, which is basically more or less just copied from the example that you get of networks A-frame, basically. Again, not wanting to review out the box. There's a load of bundled JS that came with it as well, which I'm using some of. Like I think not using all this stuff, so I'll probably remove some of it later, or maybe use it. I'm not sure. I think spawn in circle might be used. I don't know, but yeah. So that's the project I'm working on at the minute. It's still in the very much testing phase still. Mushroom fields, which is the other one I'm working on, is this. So you can see that the environment's a bit different now. You're just creating different, adding different attributes, adding different settings. That's really cool to tweak around with. There's a bit of an error there I was saying to look at. Okay. Oh, this is another test I was doing using something called shared space, but I don't think I'm going to use that now. Yeah, that's that. So yeah, that's that. Like and subscribe if you found that interesting.